Dre's World.
This Dana White Breakfast Club appearance was an absolute nightmare. He started panicking, hyperventilating. When they started to ask the hard questions, he was stuttering and didn't know what to do. They absolutely cooked him. The first thing they interrogated him about was his relationship to Trump and all the horrible things Trump is doing. Now, if you're Dana White, you kind of have to expect them to ask you about Trump. I wasn't surprised they asked that question,
right. But
I was surprised at how unprepared Dana White was to answer the question. Now, another question they asked that I was actually shocked this time around they did ask was Dana White putting hands on his wife. They asked about Dana White slapping his wife on camera in that video.
All right, yep. I remember seeing that footage like a while back. And don't get me wrong, love the UFC. I just got done watching a pay-per-view not too long ago. But yeah, man, I like the sport, you know, like I don't know, can't say I like Dana White as a person. Don't really know him, you know. He stands behind Trump. That's politics. I ain't getting into none of that. But I will say I did see the footage where he slapped his wife. Yeah, let's see what he got to say about that shit, because I'm very curious to know what went down. I know it was something about like she was drunk or he was drunk. Something was said, but yeah, let's get into that shit.
Yo. Now, another question that if you're Dana White, shocked they asked, but you have to be expecting it. I was also very shocked at how unprepared Dana White's answer was.
You know, you were on the Katie Miller podcast, and you said in regards to your relationship with Trump and has it cost the UFC business, you said, I don't know the answer to that question. I've gotten to a point in my life, especially after COVID and all that nutty that went on during that time, that I only want to be in business with and talk to people that I'm aligned with.
Well, I don't know about talk to people that I'm aligned with.
Yeah, of course aligned with. It's the power of the almighty dollar. Okay, we know Trump got money and he's the president, so of course he got money. You know, after they become president, they get like, I think it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know it's hundreds of thousands of dollars a year after they've already been, you know, a president. Like they're pretty much set for life. And then you got Dana White, who's worth millions, probably, if not billions, for being the pretty much the spokesperson and the president of the UFC. So he talking about like-minded individuals. He pretty much saying, if you ain't rich, he ain't sitting down and talking with you. Point blank, period. That's what the fuck he talking about.
I want to do business with people that I'm aligned with, for sure.
So you're aligned with Trump on what exactly?
Well, Trump is a good
that
friend
money.
Of mine. I mean, I've been friends with him for 25 years. Friends. I mean, he just happened to become the president of the United States. And he and I have never had he had us at the Trump Taj Mahal. When we first bought this company, the stigma that was attached to this thing, you can imagine, think about this. It wasn't allowed on pay-per-view. You as a grown adult didn't have the option to buy it on
I'm sorry. He don't know what the fuck to say to that question.
Pay-per-view. Porn was on pay-per-view. The UFC was not allowed on that was the uphill battle we had. So you can imagine venues didn't want us because you know, these guys were like, what kind of people will show up to watch this kind of an event? And he had us at the Trump Taj Mahal for the first two fights, 30 and 31, UFC 30 and 31. And then after we did those two fights, he showed up for the first fight of the night and stayed till the end for both events. And you think the Trump brand then and the UFC brand, and every good thing that ever happened to me in my career after that, he was always the first guy to reach out.
The answer at first appeared to be pretty concrete, and it felt like an answer that Dana White's PR team kind of wrote up for him. Hey, man, if anybody asks you about all the horrible things that Trump is doing and you being linked to it, just say he's your friend and you're just being loyal. But Charlemagne Tha God, and I have to give Charlemagne credit, and I don't give him credit enough, but Charlemagne Tha God has really sharpened up his skills, man. Charlemagne Tha God was able to talk Dana White into a corner, because the thing is, Dana White and a lot of these dudes who are actually far right, they love to masquerade as middle of the road. I'm a moderate, you know what, I'm kind of left.
And I love podcasters, journalists, and talk show hosts and reporters who actually ask the hard questions, but they do it in a respectful way to where it's like, damn, you ain't got no choice but to answer the question. You know what I mean? Like if he would have been like rude or whatever, Dana White could have probably like ended the interview and said, hey, I'm not answering no more questions. But yeah, I agree with Flacco. Charlemagne, we have overlooked him, and he is a very good reporter, analyst, podcaster. Man, he's a good dude for real. And the shit he be saying and how he like breaks stuff down and how he thinks logically when he answers or even when he asks questions is just, man, it's like art, bruh. For real. I love this shit. I love these healthy debates and these hard questions that are being asked that is forcing these people who, you know, essentially are up here and we down here. They actually have to answer to some of the stuff that's being done, you know? So I'm very curious to see what he has to say about Trump.
Left leaning, but none of these dudes are left leaning. None of these dudes are moderates. These dudes are alt-right, far-right extremists, all of them, right? But they love to pretend as if they're middle of the road. So Charlemagne Tha God does a really great job at challenging that. At challenging I'm left-leaning, I'm actually moderate, I don't know why they call me far-right. He challenged that, and he forced Dana White into a corner where Dana White had to do either one of two things. Admit Trump is actually horrible, and that Trump is doing some evil things, or admit that you are a hypocrite.
So then when he was running in 16, he called me and asked me, would you speak for me at the Republican convention? And everybody told me not to do it. Don't do it. This is going to be bad. And he's never going to win and all that kind of stuff. But this was a guy that was always good to me and, you know, always treated me well. And I did it.
I can understand that. You know, that's your friend. But when your friend has a disapproval rating of 62%, right, record high, people say they don't like his handling of the Iran war, the economy, cost of living for people. Why can't you tell your friend he's failing the people? As a friend.
Well, he's the president of the United States.
Still your friend, though.
And yeah, I know. But, you know, for me to get involved in, it's like if your friend had I'm sure people disagree with you.
Yeah, man, he don't know what the fuck to say. He said he's the president of the United States.
We do not care.
So what the fuck that got to do with the question, though? Answer the question, man. Quit dancing.
That are friends with you, and everybody has friends that you just doesn't mean you're not friends with them anymore. It doesn't mean that you.
Oh, no, I didn't say you shouldn't be friends with him. I just said, why can't you tell your friend he's failing the people? Because these are the same people who make UFC a success. Everyday working class people who support your sport.
You're never going to have a president that sits in the White House that everybody approves 100% of everything they do, and not everything is always going to be perfect. You're going to have some things that work out great and a lot of things that don't. It's no different than running a business or any other thing. Nobody's ever going to be absolutely perfect.
Oh, I agree.
When they're the president of the United States.
But can you tell your friend when he's...
Yeah, we talk about a lot of things, but I don't try to get into...
Trust me, he just began stuttering. It's just heating up. He already started with the or, talking like Poetic Flacco. Bro, you don't stutter. That's me. The or. Nah, you don't stutter. Why are you stuttering now? But it's just beginning. The weasel even try to go with I don't get into politics like that. Nah, nigga.
Yo, hey, Flacco, the reason why I react to Flacco, because he is highly fucking entertaining. And the shit he says be fucking spot on. He's a funny dude, man. He is a funny dude. Much love to Flacco. Shout out Poetic Flacco. Hey, nah, for real. He is fucking up, bro. Like, if his PR team told him a specific thing to say for real, like Flacco said, if they told him to say a specific thing and he gets up there and he's stuttering like this bad, everything that's coming out of his mouth right now is a motherfucking lie. Don't believe none of it. Just saying. And hey, I love the sport. Don't know Dana White personally. Can't say I like him or I dislike him, but this shit is sounding real bad right about now.
Nah, bruh. You endorsed him. You co-signed him, right? You told your people to vote for him. This is
facts.
Yo, they treating this like, yo, listen, man, I don't agree with everything my friends do, but I still support. Bro, this is not like your friend stole, I don't know, like your friend robbed a bank or something. And you're like, man, I don't support my friend robbing a bank, but I'm going to still stand by him and support him if you need me. Your friend bombed a school filled with little girls in it.
Oh, shit.
And then lied about it before being forced to admit that.
Okay, like I said, I'm not getting into politics, but I did hear about that. You know, I ain't going to sit up here and get into all of that because this is not what this channel is about. But yeah, man, how do you defend that? You fucking can't, man.
Hey, yeah, we did it, but it was an accident. No, your friend murdered hundreds of little girls.
That's
Niggas
sad.
treat this shit like some normal shit, as if they homie ain't the president committing a genocide. They treat this as if it's some normal stuff. No, it's not.
Right.
This is not the normal circumstance where you could stand by. That's my homie, man. I don't agree with what he's. Yo, bro, what? Your homie is protecting billionaire pedos by refusing to drop certain documents in the Epstein. Tell them to drop the Epstein files completely. Unredacted. Tell them. Redact only the
That
victims'
part.
names. They won't. So your homie is protecting pedos. Your homie is bombing schools with little girls in a war that doesn't benefit us at all. But yet you think you can still get by with the, that's just my friend, man. I'm going to support him if I can.
But don't be a glazer, though, Dana.
Don't be what?
A glazer. Like just somebody that
Not
just
a
tells him
glazer.
He's great. A yes man, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta tell him when he's.
I don't think anybody's ever accused me of being a yes man.
Okay.
But listen, I'm not an overly political person either.
Are you part of the MAGA movement culturally? Do you align with their ideologies and their values?
You know, I consider myself right down the middle or leaning a little liberal, to be honest with you. Everybody thinks I'm some far right guy because of our relationship.
Yeah, because it's interesting. Most CEOs try to stay politically neutral to protect the brand. You almost seem kind of like proud to be
Proud to be
political, I guess.
not proud to be political. I mean, I'm just saying that this guy is my friend, and nothing is perfect. And you know, whoever is the next president, right or left, isn't going to be perfect either.
People say that you're the reason why a lot of young male voters, because of, you know, you have seen everything that you have, voted for Trump. And that was something that, like, even if you didn't mean to do, it was widely talked about, and you still leaned into helping his popularity in the space.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
But that gets political then.
Yeah,
So
I
you
guess.
so your response.
He tried it.
Man, come on, man. Yeah, he definitely dancing right now. He dancing. He not answering the question, you know, with fucking certainty right now. He is definitely, I feel, avoiding what is really being asked, for sure. He's saying all this other shit about other presidents. We're not talking about other presidents. We're talking about Donald J. Trump. That's what we're talking about right now. Even though, like I said, the channel ain't nothing. This ain't political. This ain't a channel for politics. But with what Charlemagne Tha God is asking you, he is definitely not answering that shit. So I feel like it's something more there.
Responsible for the high tariffs and the high inflation costs, and
I guess so. I guess if that's the way you want to look at
responsible for
it,
people
it's all my
not being
fault.
No, I'm just saying you're responsible for people's healthcare getting cut. I'm just saying, like, that's what you're essentially
And that's something more. I'm gonna stop pausing it. And that's something more is the fact that I think that he agrees with what Trump is doing. He agrees with the bombing of the school and everything else that Charlemagne is pretty much putting in front of him and saying, hey, this is your friend. You know what I mean? Your friend. You know that saying, birds of a feather flock together. It ain't true for everybody. But if he's saying that he only deals with people who are like-minded like him, that must mean that you are like-minded like Trump, correct? Y'all are friends. You said you only deal with people who think like you or like-minded like you. So if Trump was okay with bombing that school with those girls, you would have been okay with doing it too. Man, I'm just calling a spade a spade.
saying.
Okay.
Jesus.
I mean, I that's not the way I look at it, but I guess I could see why you would look at it that way, and you could, you know, frame it like that.
I'm not even overly political myself, but
Hey,
some of these
thank
issues
you, me
can't
either,
be
Flacco.
offended on. You just can't be, man. A school of little girls got bombed. They first started to lie and say, oh, it's not our missile. Once it was confirmed it was our missiles that did it, now all of a sudden, well, it's a mistake. What the? No, somebody got to be held accountable for this. Somebody got to go to jail for these war crimes. And if you're somebody who's seen these things go on and seen like casualties like this and seen little girls get murdered over a war we have no business even participating in, and you sit by and you say, well, I also see the good in, well, you're just evil, to be honest, right? So people like Dana White, they're despicable, they're evil, they're disgusting. Now they moved on and they began to ask Dana White about the video that dropped of him slapping the living ish out of his wife. Now, Dana White had a PR answer prepared, but they didn't turn off the heat. Dana White, when they began to ask more questions, boy, Dana White started fumbling,
Ladies and gentlemen,
started scraping, started
got it.
panicking, started stuttering. They really got the best of him with this exchange.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your
You see
friend,
what I'm saying?
Was there a conversation with your sponsors or anybody on the business side when that video went viral of you and your wife in the club?
Yeah.
And with the slapping, with you slapping her slapping you?
Yeah.
When they reached out to you, what did they, like, how did that conversation go?
We didn't have any sponsor problems during that. I think that you know, my wife and I jumped on that immediately, and again, that was more of a we had to deal with our kids.
But you did.
I did.
Do you think being the boss protected you from consequences
No.
that employees or athletes
No,
would survive?
definitely not.
No, definitely, Dana. Come on.
Bullshit. Bullshit. I call bullshit. You hear what he said? Him and his wife jumped on it so they didn't have to deal with any sponsorship issues and things of that nature. I'm just going to tell you right fucking now, if that was anybody else, they would have been canceled. If that was anybody else on camera slapping their wife, they would be canceled. But because he's Dana White and he has money, he was able to make the shit disappear. That's pretty much what the fuck he just said. Stop it.
Definitely not.
You made the choice publicly not to excuse yourself from the brand. You
chose publicly to not what?
to excuse yourself or give yourself up. You
nobody
said,
can
well,
fire you.
100%.
yeah, like,
well,
what?
listen, there's a board of directors. There's there's other people that are involved that could have
Crazy.
pushed for that. But yeah, I think that, and obviously they think too, it would have hurt the company more if I did step away.
And you've disciplined fighters for public behavior that was unbecoming to the company before, right?
Oh.
Well, I mean, I'm probably the most lenient,
Ooh.
you know, the
Nah.
most lenient guy in sports when it comes to dealing with,
No.
you know, whether it's free speech or.
Listen. Hey, we gonna thank Charlemagne Tha God. Fuck that man's name up. Charlemagne Tha God for that beautifully asked question. Because for real. And I know that this is not true. He said that he's the most lenient when it comes to stuff like that. Bullshit. I remember when the stuff came out with John Jones, where they say he put his hands on his wife. There's been countless other UFC stars who have put their hands on their wives or whatever, or a loved one or a girlfriend, whatever, right? And it was all over the fucking news. They didn't. I know they didn't cut people. They didn't cut people for domestic violence, but yet he's on camera doing this shit, and he's still the president. Listen, man, he pretty much in so many words, he just motherfucking told y'all that he was able to make it go away. Pretty much. He stayed on top of it. He uses money and his power. Simple.
Bad things that happen, and you know, I'm in the fight business. It's not like I run Microsoft. You know what I mean? So
Come on, man.
So what standard did you hold yourself to?
You make as much money as them,
listen,
though.
obviously, that's not that's not what it was.
You talking like me. You
Stupid,
was talking
stupid,
perfectly.
stupid.
They get to asking, okay, you put hands on your wife. Now, if your fighters did it, what would their consequences be? You would usually kick them out of the UFC, right? You would, deliver some stiff consequences.
Thank you. Exactly what the fuck I just said. I done seen fighters get cut. You know what I mean? Like, get cut for that, especially if it's something real serious, or they won't let them fight until they, get the situation sorted out. And then even then, by then, shit, they done lost momentum. They done lost sponsorships from that incident. But yet you was able to jump on it with your money and keep your sponsorships and not lose deals and stuff when that video came out of you assaulting your wife. This is crazy, bro.
Against them. Well, what were the consequences you delivered upon yourself? Then you said, well, I would do this to them because, they didn't meet the standard of the U.S. Okay, then what standard did you break? What were your consequences? And
good question.
His PR team didn't prepare him for this. His PR team
Good
didn't
question.
give him a good answer because there is no good answer. There is no good answer
Ladies
for
and
it.
gentlemen,
You put hands on your
we got
wife.
him.
You suffered zero consequences for it. You didn't even get a layoff or a suspension. You didn't even give yourself a 1 week suspension away from the company. You said that, again, if your fighters did this, they will put the integrity of the brand at risk and there will be consequences. But yet you're saying when you do it and being the face of the brand doing this, there's no consequences at all. Well, what type of standard are you holding yourself to? And he gets a fumbling and stuttering. And I understand that somebody who stutters myself just naturally, there is no good answer for this. Charlemagne Tha God really did a great job at boxing this man.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, it's as bad as it could get. I mean, I hold myself to, I would never in a million years think that was going to happen. And I say this all the time. Nobody knows you better than your kids do. Mm-hmm. And, your kids, whoever you really are, your kids see it. They hear it, everything that goes on at home. And,
how did they react to that incident? Because
my oldest son didn't talk to us for like 4 days. We had to, and
how old was he at the time?
Huh?
How old was your oldest son at the time?
He was in college, so he was 19.
Okay. I thought he was gonna say his oldest son ain't talked to them for like maybe 4 months, 4 years. This motherfucker said 4 days. Listen, man. Wow, he didn't talk to you for 4 days. Let me guess. His money ran out. He needed to come back to mom and dad to ask for some more money because, y'all got it like that. But he made 4 days sound like it was an eternity or some shit. Like, it just sounds bad. It just sounds bad. 4 days. What? Man, come on, man. You slapped my mom and it was on and the world saw it, 4 days, that's not a long time, man.
19 probably. Yeah.
Wow.
19, 20. And, we the first thing that her and I did was handle the situation with the kids. And then obviously I had to handle the business side of the whole thing. But yeah, we handled the kids first. Tell you, before that happened, I would have told you there's never, that would never happen to me. And there will never be a scenario that could ever play out where I would be a part of that.
But
it would just never happen. And it did.
You know,
And you have to, I mean, if that's who you are and that's what you do and that's what you've done and that's normal to you, then you don't feel the way that I feel about it. I'm trying to explain this to you in the best way possible, So as a young man,
but this man was trying his hardest to swim, man. Shout out to Charlemagne Tha God, man. This was a fantastic performance, bro. I give it to you, man. This was a fantastic performance, bro. Had this man on the pressure cooker,
bro,
for like a solid 15 minutes, bro. Couldn't dance. He tried to get away. They just cornered him, bro. Shout out to Charlemagne, man. Dana White, listen, I ain't got nothing personal against Dana White. For the most part, I don't think Dana White is a terrible.
Same, and let me say the same thing. I don't got nothing personal against him either, but it's just, this is great content right here. The fact that Charlemagne was actually able to box him the way he was and see if he can actually get himself out of it, and apparently he couldn't. Yeah, man, nothing against him, but man, I'm scared of you, Charlemagne. I'm scared of you, buddy.
Human being. I think a lot of these dudes, they get in bed with the devil and they really don't know how to get out of it. All right. They get, in cahoots with some very, very, very bad people, man. And, they essentially feel stuck. And that's where I think Dana White is, man. But let me know in the comment section, what do you guys feel about this? Y'all think Dana White got a point, or y'all think Dana White is an absolute sellout? Let me know, okay? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another.
Trace World!
Okay, I ain't gonna give Dana White Clown of the Year because I'm still watching the UFC, right? But I will say this: Charlemagne was good at what he was doing. He's good at asking those questions. He's a great. I love the Breakfast Club, great podcast, and he's also a great reporter. Charlemagne, asked Dana White the tough questions, and that was one of the tough questions. It was a good question at that. The fact that, you know, he was involved in a DV situation and there was no consequences for him, but yet his fighters get consequences every time that something like that happens between them and their wife or their girlfriend or whatever, right? So, man, shout out to Charlemagne for asking the tough questions, and I enjoyed this video for sure because I love a great debate, and for them to be able to get him in a corner like that and he's stumbling over his words and not knowing what to say, I ain't gonna lie to you, man, that shit was entertaining for sure.